How are you dealing with this coronavirus pandemic? I know it's a sad situation because this common enemy, an invisible enemy, has disrupted our personal and professional lives all around the globe. And we all are in the midst of this pandemic. It's an uncertain situation all over the place. And our social life has been disrupted by this common enemy. It's very interesting. If you go back to 300,000 years ago, our ancestors, the Homo sapien, survived mostly because of their sociability attribute. And now our social life is disrupted. Regardless of the origin of this virus and how this happened, that is a totally different story. But if we think about our lives, about our ancestors to today's life, this sociability, this social characteristic, was the most important factor that helped our ancestor, the Homo sapien, to survive and thrive to today, and our existence actually was possible because of that. Because our ancestors, they were not the strongest, they were not the fastest, and they were not the smartest. Maybe interesting to you, but they were not the smartest. But this social life, this sociability, this coming together and build communities and societies helped them to survive and thrive. And now it's time for us to wake up. Maybe this is a wake-up call. As I said, regardless of the origin of this problem, regardless of how this started and got spread to every country, literally every country on the face of earth. Regardless of that, what is our responsibility? What we can do, how we can come back together and reunite as one species, regardless of any differences. I don't go in details of differences, but we have one origin. We are from one species, and we have one planet that is livable. So we need to get back together and make the world a better place to live. We can overcome this pandemic. We can overcome all these uncertainty, all these problems, all these disruptions in our personal and professional life. We can do a lot together. I do my best to record videos on coronavirus update because there are a lot of misinformation, even sometimes misleading information, and confusion and uncertainty. Although this is a new virus and our information gets updated every day, however, it's a lot of information to absorb. I do my best to record short videos on coronavirus update on daily basis. I don't promise that I can do it every day, but I do my best to do it on daily basis to give you more reliable information from experts, from specialists. Whatever I get information, I can share it with you. My friends and I decided on establishing a nonprofit organization, and we named it ReUnited Spirits because we believe we are one spirit. We are from one origin. We are one species living on one livable planet so far that we know. And this sociability and social characteristic from our ancestors helped us to survive and thrive up to now. But somehow along the way, we got disconnected from our origin, from our really sociability and social life and helping each other. And instead of attacking each other and destroying each other's life, each other's lands, each other's countries, in each other's businesses, we have to get back together and help each other. Then we can survive and we can thrive even better than before and make our planet a better place to live. In one series, I talk about coronavirus update, and another series, I talk about leadership and how leaders can help not only themselves and their families, but also their teams, their peoples, to survive and thrive and to save their organizations, their businesses, their companies as far as possible and bounce back and get out of this uncertain and sad situation. We can do a lot of things together if we use our energy as a team, as one society, as helping each other as one species, so we can use synergy. And synergy is not adding one on another one energy. Synergy is when a group of people get together, their energies make this phenomenon possible, the synergy. And in synergy or synergism, 1 + 1 is not only equal to. 1 + 1 could be 4, 5, even 10 or higher. And now imagine all together what we can do and how we can overcome this invisible enemy and even make our lives, our personal and professional lives, and our planet a better place. And we can bounce back. We can have a better life in the future, in near future. So now let's get on the coronavirus update. Okay, so let's start on coronavirus update. Just briefly mention the name, how this name was created. First of all, when it started in Wuhan, China, they thought the SARS was back. So they called it novel coronavirus, and then they called it SARS-CoV-2 because it was like SARS but different virus. So they called it number 2. And then they named the disease COVID-19, which these words, these letters actually come from corona, CO from corona, VI from virus, and D from disease. And because it was discovered in December 2019, they called it COVID-19. Because I'm a medical doctor, I have to let you know and disclose that these video series and every other video series that I make are not medical advices. These videos are made only for educational purpose and helping you guys and helping people to get more accurate information as far as possible. Now let's briefly listen to Dr. Tedros, the Director General of World Health Organization.
As we enter the fourth month since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, I'm deeply concerned about the rapid escalation and global spread of infection. Over the past 5 weeks, we have witnessed a near exponential growth in the number of new cases, reaching almost every country, territory, and area. While relatively lower numbers of confirmed cases have been reported from Africa and from Central and South America, we realized that COVID-19 could have serious social, economic, and political consequences for these regions.
Okay, so as Dr. Tedros is concerned about the whole world, we all must be concerned about our lives, about our social life, our economic life, and in general, our personal and professional lives. And this is the pandemic, and this is the whole world. So we need to get together and do whatever we can to overcome this pandemic and overcome this invisible common enemy. This is the website of coronavirus update from Johns Hopkins University. We're gonna go through the total number in the world and then see the numbers from top 3 countries that are hit hard by coronavirus. The total number up to the time of the update on April 2nd, 1:24 p.m., the total cases in the world exceeded 1 million. And it's important to say that these numbers are not real number because, first of all, in developed countries, it's not possible to test every single person. However, in developed countries, the numbers are close to reality. But in developing countries, the numbers from some countries are really fabricated. They are not real number, and the numbers are very far from the real numbers. Anyway, the number of cases exceeded 1 million. The number of deaths exceeded 51,000 worldwide. The first country we consider is United States with the highest recorded number, 236,339 cases, and the number of deaths over 5,600. Italy was hit before United States, and it was, I think, the first hot spot in Europe. Now the cases up to today, 1:24 p.m. Eastern Time, was over 115,000, and the number of deaths almost 14,000. Spain was another country was hit pretty hard. The number of total cases is over 110,000, and the number of deaths over 10,000 cases. Now let's talk about the prevention, because as you know, there is no specific medication against coronavirus, and there is no vaccine. Although they are working on both vaccine and medication, but they are not on the market yet. So we need to do whatever we can to prevent the infection. Later on, I'll talk about the medications on future videos about the medications that they are used by different hospitals and different universities and different research centers. But now let's talk about the prevention. It's very important to follow the CDC guidelines on physical distancing, or it's called social distancing. That I like actually to use physical distancing because socially we should not get away from each other. We should stay close to each other using the technology. And we are very fortunate, actually, we're living in this 21st century and using technology to stay connected. It's very important to follow your state or country guidelines regarding quarantine and lockdown. Hand washing or using disinfectant gel or liquid is very important. Hand washing must be thorough hand washing, at least for 20 seconds, and wash your entire hands, fingers, between fingers, and your nail beds. And the same with disinfectant. And if you use the disinfectant, let it dry very well. And you can do this several times a day, especially before preparing meal, before eating, and when you go back home from outside, after using bathroom. Those are very important. However, if you can wash your hand 5 times or more in each day, that helps actually to prevent the infection. Do not touch your eyes, nose, or mouth, which is called the T-zone of your face, especially when you're not sure about your hand and your hand probably touched a surface, a contaminated surface. It's very important not to touch those. Self-quarantine is very important if you have mild symptoms or you are asymptomatic but your test is positive for coronavirus. However, if your symptoms are getting worse and getting severe, you have to call your local healthcare or your doctor or 911 or any other emergency contact number you have in your country and get admitted in the hospital. But if you're asymptomatic or your symptoms are mild and you are instructed by health authorities to stay at home, it's very important to isolate yourself and get away from your family members and friends and do self-quarantine for 14 days. And make sure when you are infected, use mask, preferably N95, but if it is not possible, at least you use surgical mask. And it's very important for those people who are taking care of you or any infected person in the family or in any community, use the personal protection gears, including mask, gloves, face shield or goggles or glasses, and surgical gowns. Using personal protective equipment is very important for those people who are taking care of patients. In next videos, I will talk about different topics, including facts versus myth, treatment, drugs, and vaccines. Well, about drugs, there is no specific medications. However, there are some medications that they are used, and you might be interested in those medications to know what kind of medications are they. And it's very important to deal with anxiety and stress because it's a stressful situation, and many of us, if not all, we are stressed, we have anxiety, we are dealing with this invisible enemy and this uncertain situation that has affected almost all aspects of our personal and professional lives. So it's very important to know how to deal with stress and anxiety. And about leaders, because I'm a leadership coach and speaker, and I talk to leaders, I coach leaders, I speak in different places on leadership. So I will talk and I record a series of videos on leadership and how to deal with this problem and with this pandemic, because many leaders are under a lot of stress, not only because of their personal and family lives, because of their team, their people from their organization, their businesses, their companies. And it's very important to know how to deal with it and how to help your people as a leader to help them and to prepare them, not only deal with this situation, but also be prepared for the bounce back for after the pandemic is over. What should we do to keep up our spirit? This is very important, to have a positive mindset and keep it that way. I know it's very difficult. It's much easier to say than to do. However, as a personal and professional development coach, I have helped many people, and through this series, I can help you to have this positive mindset regardless of the situation, to stay positive and keep up your spirit, which is very important for your immune system as well. How we can help our community, society, and the world. It is very important for every and each of us to get involved in whatever activities that we can help our family members, our friends, our communities, our society, and the whole world as one society. We will talk more about the organization, about ReUnited Spirits, and about how you can help, how you can spread the word, and how we can get together and come together and help each other. And the other topic will be about the immune system, how to boost your immune system, which is very important. I wish you to stay safe and healthy, and it's very important to pay attention to instructions, to guidelines, and to prevent the infection. I want to ask you as a favor to comment on this video, not only this video, the whole video series, whatever video we put it out, to help you to prevent the infection and to stay safe and healthy as far as possible. You can ask your questions by commenting on these videos and let us know what's your favorite topics and what's your questions. You can share stories if, for example, you are one of the survivors, you got infected by coronavirus and you are one of the survivors, or the stories of helping others, helping your community, what activities you have done in your family, in your community, in your society, share it with us, and we can share a brief videos of your activities. And very interesting to have these activities and share these stories to keep up our spirits all together, how we can help each other and help our community and society. Please like, subscribe, and share these videos. The more subscribers we have, the more likes we have, and the more you share these videos, we can help more people. Thank you so much for your attention.